Good evening and welcome to the Financial Week. I'm Anthony Lugg. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, says the outlook for Jamaica's economy is positive but subject to downside risk. The International Lending Agency released its assessment today.
The IMF's assessment comes after it completed its third review of Jamaica's Precautionary and Liquidity Line (PLL) and the Resilience and Sustainability Facility (RSF). The report says the local economy is expected to grow and inflation set to return close to the midpoint of the Bank of Jamaica's 4 to 6% target range. This would be driven by moderating commodity prices. The multilateral lender says, however, global risks remain high and include tighter than expected global financial conditions and intensification of geopolitical conflicts that increase global commodity prices and natural disasters. Lower global growth and its impact on tourism and remittances are also accounted for. The IMF team and the Jamaican authorities reached a staff-level agreement on the reviews. The agreement is subject to approval by the IMF Executive Board, which is expected to consider them in August. Jamaica is to benefit from a combined $1.7 billion under the Precautionary and Liquidity Line (PLL) and the Resilience and Sustainability Facility (RSF). For the Financial Week, I'm Javon Keys.
Jamaica stands to benefit greatly. That reaction from economist Keenan Falconer to the news that the country has been removed from the Financial Action Task Force FATF's grey list. The list comprises countries that are assessed as having deficiencies in their anti-money laundering, countering the financing of terrorism regimes. In an interview with our news center, Mr. Falconer says this could help to boost international investment in the local economy.
Our international reputation also now gets quite a boon. We have easier access to the global banking system and the financial system because our very participation and functioning in that system would have been threatened. At the micro level, I know many persons will be very happy because it means, for example, your favorite online retailers are now less hesitant to do business with Jamaica. And even at the wider level, many of the resources that had been committed and devoted to fighting this as a financial crime, because it is essentially a financial crime, can now be diverted to other more economically and socially productive uses.
That reaction from Mr. Faulkner. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark says there is more work to be done.
Milestone achievement. We have to look ahead to ensure we never again give the global standard setter for AML, CFT, CPF matters reason to greylist Jamaica. As such, Jamaica, like other countries, is now preparing for the globally applicable fifth round of AML CFT mutual evaluations scheduled to take place in mid-2026. Before the end of 2025, Jamaica will therefore need to amend or introduce new laws to 1, regulate virtual assets and virtual asset providers, 2, to make the registration of non-profit organizations mandatory, and 3, to promulgate regulations that address certain targeted financial sanctions related to proliferation.
Now, foreign exchange trading ended today with banks and cambios selling the American dollar for an average $156.30. The Canadian dollar is being sold for $115.48. $202.20 is the average value of the pound, while the euro is going for $171.23. The JSE index advanced by 1,526 points, while the junior market rose by 37 points. Among the 52 winners were 138 Student Living Jamaica Variable Preference, Dollar Financial Services, Jamaica Public Service Company 7%, ISP Finance Services and JMMB Group 7% variable Jamaican dollar cumulative redeemable preference shares. The 36 losers included JMMB Group 7.15% cumulative redeemable preference shares, Knutsford Express Services, MFS Capital Partners, Stanley Motor, Ordinary Shares, and Express Catering. 21 stocks traded firm. And that's the Financial Week. I'm Anthony Lugg. Good evening.